If you're busy all day but feel like you're not really moving things forward, or maybe you're trying to balance working on the business versus in the business, like every entrepreneur ever, then this video is for you. Hello, it's Arit here from Essetinomedia, helping you create profitable content. And in this case, in this particular video, helping you create a system that brings more profits into your business. This video is going to share an activity with you that's really going to help you get more productive in your business, and it's going to help you see what tasks you're working on that actually produce the income in your business, actually produce real results, so that you know how to prioritize your tasks throughout the day. This is a method that I learned from business coach and performance coach Todd Herman, who coaches Fortune 500 CEOs and Olympic athletes with these types of techniques. So let's get into it. So this activity right here is called the Entrepreneur Scorecard, and it's an activity that you need to create daily. You should have this chart with you, sitting beside you all the time while you're working, because there's really nothing else that I've tried that has allowed me to manage how effective I'm being in my business than this activity right here. So here's how it works. First of all, you want to set a goal, a revenue goal. How much money do you want to make in the next 90 days? So on a separate sheet of paper, write down that number. For us, we wrote down $60,000. In the next 90 days, we'd like to make $60,000. Step number 2, within the next 90 days, how many of those days will you realistically and actually be working on your business? So if you don't work on weekends, make sure you factor that in. And let's say you work 5 days out of the week on your business. So 5 times 4 is 20 days, and times that by 3, because we're talking about 90 days, right? 3 months. You can do the math, that's 60 days. It depends on you though. Maybe you have a full-time job and you work on your business part-time. So write down the number of days within the next 90 days that you will realistically be working on your business. So we wrote down 60 days. For the next 90 days, we will be working 60 days. And the reason why we did that is because it's December now at the time of filming this video, so there's a ton of holiday stuff going on. Okay, step number 3. You want to find out what your daily target is, your daily revenue target. And to do that, you take your answer from step 1, your revenue goal, and your answer from step 2, the number of days you'll be working, and divide that. So the example for us is 60,000 divided by 60 days, and our daily target goal is $1,000 per day. So where it says target, write down your daily target. So we would write down $1,000. Now the reason why you're doing that, or you came up with that calculation, is that so you have some sort of measure to go by to tell you whether you're working on those income producing tasks that are going to lead to you acquiring that daily target goal. So now here comes the fun part. Every single day, you're gonna have this chart sitting beside you. Set a timer to go off every 2 hours. And in those 2 hours, what you're going to be doing is tracking what tasks you're working on. So you'll have a chart that looks something like this, and you can easily create this in like PowerPoint or Word, or even just drawing it out on a piece of paper. There's going to be $10 an hour tasks, $100 an hour tasks, $500 an hour tasks, and $1,000 an hour tasks. How do you know what tasks fit into which columns? It's basically what you would pay in order for someone to do that task for you. So checking your emails would be a $10 an hour task, or replying to emails. Maybe you're writing an email that is actually writing a proposal, or you're writing a sales email. That's different. That's not going to go in $10 an hour. Depending on what it is that you're selling, that could go into the $100 an hour column, or if you're selling something like a big service-based package, then that could even be a $1,000 an hour task. And feel free to change these numbers around, right? Your business might not necessarily be set up to have $1,000 an hour tasks. If that's the case, then you can drop this to something lower, like $700, or maybe $500 is your top one, and the column below that is $200. So let me show you an example here. On this day, I set a timer to go off every 2 hours from when I started to sit at my laptop to do work. In the first 2 hours, I had a 30-minute call with a client. She's already a paying client. I also worked 1 hour on a client project designing a website, and I also had a 1 hour YouTube coaching session with a client. So it's a little bit over 2 hours, but in total, these are all things that I'm working on a client with. So I can't necessarily pay someone $10 an hour to do that because I am the coach, I'm doing the design work. It would be more so something that would go under the $100 an hour column. Now, on that same day, for the next 2 hours, what I also did was had a 40-minute discovery call with a client. So this was a client that saw a presentation of ours on the topic of YouTube, and she actually wanted to meet with us to talk about how we can help her start her YouTube channel. So because this is kind of like a sales call, right? It's an actual lead and could lead to a bigger sale. I put this in the $500 an hour column. Another thing that happened that day was that I wrote a sales email. Right after that discovery call, I wrote a proposal to that client saying, all right, this is based on our conversation, this is what I can do for you. So it took me 30 minutes to write that email. And again, that's a higher valued task. So I also put that in the $500 an hour column. So what you'll continue to do throughout your day is write down your tasks, put them in the appropriate columns, track down how much time you're working on each of those tasks, like so. And at the end of your workday, what you're gonna do is you're gonna add up the number of hours that you spent on that task and multiply it by the dollar amount. So in this example, I added up all of the time under the $100 an hour tasks. I came up with 7 hours and I multiplied that by 100, which gave me $700. And I also added up all of the tasks and the time spent in the $500 an hour column. In this case, it was 1.17 hours times by 500 was $585. Looks like I didn't have any $10 an hour tasks or 1,000. So what happens now is you're gonna add those two total dollar amounts, and that's gonna be your actual value for the day. So on this particular day, I produced $1,285, which has surpassed my daily target, which is good. So what this activity does is it gives you instant feedback to show you that what you're working on is in the right direction towards your goals. If your actual amount was lower than your target, then that shows you that you need to make some adjustments in terms of what it is that you're working on throughout your day because you didn't hit that daily target. Maybe you're spending too much time working on the $10 an hour tasks, and maybe you need to figure out how you can either eliminate some of those tasks or delegate them, maybe hire someone to help you with that. Basically shifting your efforts into working on the more value, higher producing income tasks. After doing this activity for a week, I promise you, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and your productivity and what it is that you're working on. The goal is to review how you're doing every single week. So looking whether you're actually meeting or hitting those targets, and if not, making those micro adjustments so that you can really improve your productivity and start to see actual results in your business. So that's the Entrepreneur Scorecard. And if you could use some help creating profitable content in your business, whether that's a YouTube channel or a landing page or a website, hit us up in the description below. I'll have my contact information. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.